Does taking care of yourself make you feel guilty? In today's episode, I'm going to share with you 5 free 5-minute self care habits that you can start incorporating into your everyday life to help you to let go of that guilt of taking care of yourself. Even though you know you need to, you still feel guilty that you're doing it. This is going to help you to feel empowered to say yes to you and not go back to using these excuses like it takes too much time. I don't have the money to take care of myself. And stick around to the end because I have a bonus habit that requires a partner. After a lifetime of always prioritizing everyone else's needs over your own, do you feel like you don't know who you are anymore? You might be moving into another phase of your life or going through a major life transition. Maybe your family dynamics, your career, or partner relationships are changing, and you might find yourself saying, "Who am I?" or "I'm lost." You are not alone. It is time to prioritize yourself and power your mission. It's time to love your life on purpose. I'm Michelle Vandehay, certified holistic life coach and compassion fatigue specialist to mission-driven leaders around the world. Let's explore who you are and discover who you want to become because you are. Today, we're going to talk about 5 different self-care habits that you can start incorporating today that take 5 minutes or less and that are free or mostly free. Before we dive in to the 5 self-care habits, let's talk briefly about what does self-care even mean? I'm someone who, when I'm talking about a topic, I like to look up the definition in the dictionary and see what the dictionary says. And what the Oxford Dictionary says about self-care is that it is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness, in particular during periods of stress. This is so important. I'm going to repeat that for you. Self-care is the practice. First of all, practice means that you're not perfect at it and that you're doing it on a regular basis. So you're practicing taking an active role, not passive, but active. That you have to be intentional about your self-care, that it doesn't just happen automatically in protecting. So you're protecting yourself, protecting one's own well-being and happiness. Well-being can be your mental health, physical health, emotional health, all of those things. So you're taking this active role in protecting your health and well-being, in particular during times of stress, which is why today's episode is so important because so many of you are so busy and we just go, go, go that these 5 habits are things that you can incorporate in your everyday life. And many of them you can even do in less than 5 minutes. So let's dive in. The first opportunity for you is to pause. And what might a pause look like for you? Maybe you're someone who is constantly working and you're like, I don't even have 5 minutes, Michelle. Well, what if you just pause for 30 seconds? What if you close your eyes and are just intentional about closing your eyes? There's nothing you need to think about. Or maybe you just need to de-stimulate yourself from everything around you and close your eyes. So that might be an option for pausing. Another option might be to take some intentional breaths. We're so much on autopilot. I talked about this in a previous episode of being on autopilot. And these self-care resets that you can take throughout the day help you to kind of wake you up to the autopilot that you're on. You might be familiar with box breathing. So that might be an option where you inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Or maybe you don't count and you just intentionally inhale into your belly and you intentionally exhale and you take a few inhales and exhales. They don't even have to be super loud. You could do this even with other people around you potentially. And then a third option for your pause might be looking at a candle. Maybe you want to look at a candle and watch it flicker. That might be a way to pause and take a break from everything that's going on. So that was habit number 1, is the pause. Habit number 2, and one of my favorites, is movement. This might look like stretching. I'm a trauma center, trauma sensitive yoga facilitator, and we do mindful movement. It's not always necessarily stretching. Maybe you just take a moment to say, oh my gosh, I need to stand up I need to stretch. I need to move from side to side. I maybe need to reach my arm above my head because I've been typing all day. Maybe going for a walk. That's one of my favorite things to do. That's something I've been more intentional with this year is going for a 1 mile walk every day outside, even when it's freezing here in Wisconsin. I've definitely missed a few days, but many less than I ever have in the past. I've never walked this much in the winter before. Maybe dancing. That's another favorite of mine. Usually in the winter, I prefer dancing over going for my walk, but I just love being outside. But dancing can be a really fun thing. Or maybe you just shake. Maybe you need to shake your wrists, move your arms, maybe wiggle back and forth. A couple different options for movement for your self-care. That was number 2. So far we have number 1 is pause and number 2 is movement of the 5 free 5-minute self-care habits. If you're liking this, you're welcome, especially if you're on YouTube, to subscribe and turn on the notifications or follow this podcast in wherever you're watching it. So number 3 is doing a self-care check-in. Ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? Oftentimes we refer to it as journaling. You could have a special little notebook that you have. I have a bunch of different little notebooks. Like, I don't know if you ever get free notebooks from people. Pick one of those and use it as a place for you to self-reflect of like, how am I feeling right now? And be honest with yourself how you're feeling right now. And allowing yourself to be in that moment. And if you're having some hard emotions and hard feelings, writing it out can help you to work through it without ignoring it. So maybe writing it down, you might speak to into your phone, or maybe you do a note on your phone as well. There's options for that. And then number 5, and don't forget, I have a 6th bonus one that you're really going to want to stick around for because it involves a partner. Number 5 is to nourish yourself. Refill your water. Maybe go get a beverage. This might be one that requires a little bit of money depending on where you work or what you have access to. But maybe you refill your beverage. Maybe you heat up some more water for tea. You get a new coffee, water, soda, sparkling water, whatever that is. Refill your beverage. Something as simple as refilling your beverage, that is self-care. That is taking care of yourself. Or maybe it's grabbing a snack. Maybe you're starting to get hungry. Grabbing a snack can be a great way to take care of yourself. Okay, I think I just said that. That was number 5. But in reality, it was actually 4. I'm human just like you. The 5th one is to write down an I am fabulous statement. This is something that I work with clients on, and I have them actually fill out a sheet of 50 reasons of why they're fabulous. This is something that sounds simple and it can be so powerful. It's almost like celebrating yourself, taking a moment to celebrate yourself. What makes you fabulous? I even the other day was like, I'm fabulous because I got a haircut. And there's no rhyme or reason to why you're fabulous. Like, you being fabulous doesn't have to do with anything that you're doing. It's just you being. I didn't do anything. I guess I got a haircut, but it wasn't me that gave myself the haircut. I'm just fabulous because I got a haircut. You could have a specific journal for that or somewhere in your notes app on your phone. Another option could be to just to say it in the mirror. So saying it to yourself in the mirror can be also very valuable. Let's quick recap. The 5-minute free or mostly free self-care habits. 1 is pause. 2, movement. 3, a self-care check-in of where you're at right now. 4, nourish, refilling your beverage, grabbing a snack. And 5, celebrating yourself, writing down or saying to yourself, I am fabulous because. If you're like me and you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds great. I want to start this new habit. Starting something new, even if it's something that's only 5 minutes, but because you're trying to create this new habit, it can be challenging. And that's one of the reasons why I created my community for people just like you who want to learn, grow, have a little fun, and celebrate being human together and laugh and not take life too seriously. So you're welcome to join my free Facebook group, Love Your Life on Purpose. When you join, you'll be welcomed by myself, my team, and other folks like you rediscovering who they are. And as a podcast listener, you'll also get a free 15-minute connect call that when you come into the group, I'll offer a connect call, and it's an opportunity for us to get on a phone call, for me to ask you a few questions and you ask me a few questions to literally just get to know each other. I'd love to know the people in my group. So go to loveyourlifeonpurpose.com, or you can search Love Your Life on Purpose on Facebook. Click join, and I will see you there. Okay, are you ready for the bonus tip where you need a partner for this one? And it's also really powerful. Hugging someone, giving someone a hug, according to healthline.com, has been proven to reduce fear, reduce stress, even reduce pain, which I think is super powerful. It could also support your immune system and your cardiovascular health. The study and the article that I read on the benefits of hugging, I will have in the show notes, so you can go there and read the benefits of it. It's just so powerful. But even think to yourself, and maybe it's just me because one of my top love languages is physical touch, but that is so powerful. And here's the thing, if you don't have someone to hug, maybe you have a soft blanket nearby. Maybe you have a special stuffed animal. I have a special stuffed animal that I sleep with at night. Maybe you have a pet. You can hug your pet. Maybe you can't, but maybe petting your pet. Having that physical touch can be an opportunity for self-care, of taking care of yourself. And it's almost like that pause on another level, taking a pause and interacting with something else that satisfies that physical touch. And the benefits are absolutely amazing. So let me know in the comments, which one of these are you going to try? Which one was the most surprising to you? Or do you have another self-care habit that you do that's a 5-minute free or mostly free habit that really is powerful for you? Because here's the final thing with this. All of these things can be really powerful. The key is doing them most days consistently, and that's how you get the most benefit out of these self-care habits. Sending you all light and love, and always remember that you are worth it.